Right.
Right. You're a bit dusty this morning, King.
Okay, we're about to start streaming.
And welcome to NEFL TV. This is round 15 on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Mark Kennedy here at Fankhauser Reserve on the Gold Coast with Michael Price and Liam Dettering. And Michael, looking forward to a magnificent clash this afternoon between these two powerhouses in Southport and Aspley.
This is a Queensland derby like no other. You've got Southport versus Aspley. It is a beautiful day for football, just a little bit of wind. Expect to see Southport with a bit of the ascendancy with the home ground advantage, but we are up for an absolute four-star cracker today.
And Liam, these two sides, it's their third meeting for the year. They've split it so far, one at Southport, a win for them, and one at Aspley, a win for them. Who's your tip for this afternoon?
I think it'll go the way the season has. Home ground advantage to Southport. I think they'll come away, but under 10 points.
Well, here we are underway here at Fankhauser Stadium. That was Jed Turner getting his mark on the ball there. And Callanan, it is for Southport, who puts the ball forward for them. Here's Wagner, just goes off to his brother. So that was to Corey and gets it from Josh. So a little bit of back and forth with the Wagners today as here's Payne, the prolific ball winner. Of course, he's had 31 in the round 3 game possessions and then 25 in the round 11. As we see Turner with the good mark, he goes high early. And
one down here for Southport.
And that's Callanan, who left a bit of a mark on it, as Thompson gets the handball received and goes up forward. Toy really just bits it off, bats it over the top. Here's Sansbury, dangerous goal kicker. First one on the board for Aspley, and they're away.
Sorry, Kenga. We just see Callanan down. He's really struggling here. It took him a while to get up. He's still on his haunches. Finally moved, but I think just had the wind really knocked out of him there.
Yeah, did not move after that big contest from Big Jed Turner. Tucked the mark over the top of him. How about Eddie Sansbury's form? 5 goals again last week. Starts the game off perfectly for the Hornets, and that was exactly what they were after to start the game off tonight.
And the round 11 game at Aspley had 24 lazy possessions and 5 goals as well. So he has put his foot forward early to really make his mark on this contest for the Hornets away from home.
So some rare form for Eddie Sansbury as the ball goes down into the middle. You've got Wolbers in the ruck for Southport. Gets it down. A nice bit of work there from Pettit. Actually, Turner gets it forward. Now it's cut off by Southport. The Sharks through hands. Mills gets it away. Nicely worked there by Southport. Nice lead coming out onto the commentary box side. And that's a good mark. Taken there by the Sharks. Again, a handball could have been better. Nicely picked up there, but you go for the 1-2. Grayson did well. Grayson now with a little chipping ball. Goes a little bit further afield. He finds his teammates. Aspley with one-on-ones all over the ground. This is Wells onto the left foot. He's kicking to right half forward. Good spoil there. The Aspley defence working well. Sharks have it though. It's kicked forward by Geary. Inside forward 50. Dropping it Gavin Gross. He collects it again. Handballs forward. Now it's with Josh Toy. The left foot. Long down the line. Ill-directed. The mark's going to be taken there by Todd Grayson.
So Grayson, from Labrador last year, goes laterally. Finds the young man there in Burton. Distinguishable by those blinding boots he's wearing. Again, he goes back to the wing, finds Fine. Of course, Southport big winners over the Suns last week. And Aspley over the Sydney Hills Eagles. As we see Southport in possession, just flipping the ball around. Here's Burge. He's got it in the unfamiliar 42. Again, he goes forward looking for a target. There's the courageous Copeland. Off to Day. Day down the line and close to the line, and the goal umpire says it is out of bounds on the full. And Southport will take the free kick, and it is Captain Burge to the rescue.
Jason Burge wearing the unfamiliar number 42. I was trying to recognise who that was. Usually
a lot of blood rules this year.
Exactly right.
And he has just had it in the kit bag to change into.
So Gross now gets the handball out to Ryan Thompson, gets around. Dangerous kick, but it's well directed. Ryan Matthews takes it and he's off. Wade Mills holds him up a bit, so Matthews to the outer side looking for his teammate in Stanley. Ball hits the deck, good contest there from Darren Stewart as well, but it's towed forward for the Hornets. Hutchison again tows it forward. Who's going to make it there first? Will Smith for the Hornets? He gets to the boundary line first, and there'll be a throw in about 30 metres from the Aspley goal.
And Pricey, that was just great play from Hutchinson there. Elected not to take possession and just gained 40 metres from his side with two little kicks along the ground there.
So the ball in. Walbers, give that one to him decisively. Burge looked like he got one high. The umpire agrees. So he'll go back. It was Toy who gave that free kick away. It would be a good battle in the middle of the ground with the likes of Toy, Matthews for Aspley, and of course Burge. He'll be right in the thick of it with Pope. Now we have the ball with Clark. So Clark, nowhere really to go. Forced to kick short up the line. That was Geary. I do apologise. Now Geary's got it. He's away. The kick smothered there by Wells. Lucy just gives it back to Gross. Sainsbury has the ball punched away from him. Headland, he's been a good contributor, and he comes off half back looking for a target, and he finds one. Or no, he doesn't. The bouncer's eluded Keller there. And Stanley goes on the left and absolutely butchers it back to Headland.
Headland picks it up eventually. The handball back now to Grayson. Grayson to Wade Mills. That's a wobbly looking conveyance. It bounces towards Gavin Gross. Cleverly taps it to Lucy. Lucy's handball smothered. Hutchinson, again the pressure on the Southport Sharks against the ball carrier. Tyler Cornish over to Tyne. Tyne ill-directed. There's a number of options for Aspley, one of them being Wagner. Wagner now to Henry Joyce, tackled. Umpire could be pinging him here, and justifiably so. Ripping tackle there from Fraser Pope for the Sharks, 55 metres out. Plays on quickly, sees a lead. And the Sharks have a mark through the big fella in Jake Goldsmith. 5 goals last week, 45 metres from goal on a slight angle.
Great tackle, as you mentioned, great call, Pricey, with Pope there, and he's got it to Goldsmith, who, in the absence of Big Josh Baxter, has become the key forward for Southport.
Well, he needs to be. In these meetings between these two sides, Baxter, who's missing, he contributed 6 of the 15 goals that they accumulated in total between those first 2 matches. So
Jake Goldsmith unloads from the 50-metre line, pulls it a little left, and it just goes through for a behind. So Southport, 2 behinds, playing Aspley 1 straight goal here at Fankhauser Reserve.
And Gavin Gross it'll be. Gives it that big left. Hoof! You can almost hear it from here. Goldsmith was up, but the umpire pays a free kick, and it'll go back to Ben Merritt, son of Roger. So Merritt goes. Copeland just pushes across, and very courageously, I called it before, he got the high contact, another courageous effort, and he'll take the free kick at half back. And Copeland looking inboard, has a target short, but now he'll elect to go long, and he does with the aid of a bit of breeze. That's petted up there. He just puts the fist on it, along with Merritt. The ball just goes out of bounds right in front of the Neefel TV commentary position on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here at Fankhauser Reserve. Michael Price.
Palatial clubhouse here, the Southport Sharks, as the umpire throws it in. Petted in the ruck for Aspley, slaps it down. Oh, it's shark there, actually by one of the Hornets in Matthews. Ironic here as the ball hits the deck. Hughes picks it up, left foot towards Sainsbury. Sainsbury, will he double up? Good defensive effort there by the Sharks. Sainsbury lays the good tackle, and that puts the pressure on. The clearance just cut off by the Aspley player in Clinton French. Now, given that the wind is slightly favouring the left of screen, has he got the distance? No, he's just going to put it up to the hot spot. He does. Big fly at the back. It's roved beautifully there. Handball back to Hughes on the right shoe from 30, curls it around. pulls it a little too tight, one behind the result. So 7 plays 1.
And just some early stats, Todd Grayson, 4 disposals for Southport, Headland also 4, and for Aspley, Copeland with 4 and Matthews with 3.
So Mills got it from the kick out, kicking it to nobody except Pettit. Pettit gives it across now. Here's Holman, looked to give it, but held onto it. Looking for an option now inside forward 50. Goes towards Big Nellis, but smothered off the boot there by Pope. Well done. Poor football from that point of view. Got to go back from your mark. Now Aspley working forward. Gross, he can give it something. That is an absolute belter. Gavin Gross. We knew he can kick the ball, and he has absolutely planted it.
That was a
True.
ripping kick.
Over the goal umpire's hat.
Has a
inflict
great
some
leg.
damage on the Sharks.
He has got a great leg, hasn't he, Liam, as Gavin Gross?
Well, he's one who doesn't need the assistance of the breeze, but just it helps for everyone when they have it, and he just went bang from 55 out, and it was carrying 3/4 post height on the way through.
Just a couple of steps there too, just quietly. Just laconic, beautiful. If it was a golf swing, it'd be one of those ones you'd love. Just easy.
In supermodel parlance, he got a great set of legs.
Nice
He does, Gavin Gross. What a beautiful leg.
2-1-13 to Aspley to Southport, 1 behind. The home team down by a couple of goals at the moment. Ben Merritt accepts his own ruck tap, then gets petted out of the road. Oh, that's a great tackle there by Daniel Smith for Aspley. Buried his opponent in Salter, and the ball will be thrown up just a couple of metres to the outer side of the centre circles. Beautiful day here at Southport. Great tap from Pettit towards his own goal. Kicks it inside 50. Bounces for Nellis. Couldn't control it. Stewart for Southport. Now he's in trouble. Taps it towards the boundary line. Nellis has got him. The ball spills over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in the right forward pocket.
And we've got Ben Merritt down here too, boys. Look like he's copped an absolute belting corky, so he's coming straight off the ground.
Well, see, this is what happened in the last meeting between these two sides at Graham Road.
Lucy, sorry to interrupt there, Pricey, but Lucy just shafted off the Pettit hit out.
Well, they can't take a trick with their big men, can they? They're already missing Brennan. He's back playing now, and Brewer, and to lose Merritt would be huge for Southport.
It was the thing that got Aspley over the line back at Graham Road in round 11 with them losing their ruckman in Brewer, Southport.
So Willie Walbers comes on for Merritt. He just got moving late there just to not be helped off the ground, but to get into a little bit of a jog, so hopefully he might be back. So throw in around near Aspley's goal. Pettit got a little bit of a shove, Southport. That was Cornish, goes through, almost got one high, managed to get it away. Walbers, a bit of waxing there. Now the ball ends up with Grayson. Grayson from the half-back. Good kick there, finds Clark. Pushing hard for him here is that is Shreve. Now he gets the run of it. Nobody up forward for him, so he's got to turn backwards and finds Pope at half forward, looking for a way forward now as they stream into the forward 50.
Oh, some great leads being put on there. He had about 4 or 5 options there, did Shreve. And it's a good mark taken by Ben Wells, about 45 metres from goal on a slide angle. There were players, Stephen Tyne running down the outer side as well. Plenty of options there. So this should be Southport's first goal as Ben Wells comes in. He'll unload from just inside 50. The left foot just hasn't got the journey. Held up in the wind, punched forward by the Aspley defence. Henry Joyce overruns it. Now he picks the ball up. Tapped down by French. It's picked up by Pettit. Handball back to Gross. Gross. Dangerous handball. He misses the target in Copeland in front of their own goal. Copeland with the big don't argue. Gives it back to Payne, who goes bang down the outer side.
So Payne looking for Sandsbury, a long way from home. And the ball beats them both over the line as Michael Price was getting very excited and just tossed his microphone
asunder.
to the ground.
There it went. There it went.
So the ball in. Half forward for Southport. Walbers looked like he's impeded. Just taps it over, only to the benefit of Sandsbury though. Sandsbury down the line and coming to meet it out there on the outer wing as far away from our commentary position as you can get is James Nellis. So Nellis going inside 50, looking for Stanley. Just belted away from him by Mills, and we'll have a throw in some 50 metres around from Southport's goal, outer side.
I just think early Aspley's got on top in the contested stakes. They're winning the tackle count and the contested possessions to start with, so that's just where they've got Southport, an area Southport really pride themselves on, so they've got to try and even that up.
2 straight goals, the margin in favour of Aspley here at Fankhauser Reserve Southport as the ball hits the deck at half forward. High tackle there on the Shark, and well, a little remonstration there, but nothing the umpire will do anything about. And the ball's taken there by Shreve. Shreve just didn't clear the mark. Clinton French working overtime on the mark, smothered it, gets the handball over towards Sainsbury. Shreve actually took it back over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in in the right forward pocket for Aspley. A couple of small 1% type things, Kanga, that not going right for Southport at this stage.
Well, just fundamentals. Fundamentals. You've got to get the fundamentals right, especially when you're kicking against the breeze too, mind you, under pressure.
Just sparked up a bit. You've got Walbers over the back of Pettit. Could have been a free kick there. Handball through, under pressure, and here it comes. Austin Lucy from 10 metres out goes bang! And that is Aspley's 3rd goal. 3-1-19 plays Southport 1 solitary behind here. First term, about 14 minutes played.
So Austin Lucy had lazy 26 last week against the Sydney Hills Eagles, including 6 inside 50s. So he started very well and is in a rich vein of form.
One you don't want to give that much space in the offensive 50. Just a complete breakdown at the stoppage there from Southport. 2 handballs out the back for Aspley, and then Lucy just had the lane open up for him, ran straight through and kicked the easiest of goals.
It's a former Morningside product, Austin Lucy, a former Caloundra product as well.
Oh, we can take him, we can timeline him all the way back.
And was on Essendon's senior list, drafted. So
bit of a journeyman.
A journeyman, played in a couple of premierships for Morningside and making his mark here for Aspley. There was Pettit, there was Lucy in it again. Here's Toy, under pressure this time though. Walbers gives it to Grayson, who's immediately set on, but it was a high tackle, so he gets away with it. So just forward to centre for Southport. Goes inside 50, looking for Goldsmith. Just put it on his head, so didn't give him too much of a chance. And now Aspley going to mop up, and the ball ends up with Day just outside his defensive 50.
Joey Day has a bounce, gets onto the left foot, tries to direct it towards Pettit. It actually goes further to Hughes. Nice spoil there, picked up by Grayson for the Sharks. Punches it in towards centre field. Nicely collected by Tyler Cornish. Handball back to Grayson. Now he scrubs it forward, it bounces. It's going to, oh, great tackle! Brilliant tackle by the big fella there. Aspley will get the free kick, and it was Matthews who wants to play on. It was Kane Tickner who laid that great tackle on Adam Clark. Absolutely poleaxed him, chipped it forward. Henry Joyce now with the ball. Deliberate with their disposals, Aspley today. They're hitting their targets. Joyce, long towards half forward. Nellis at the back. He spoils. Now it's nicely collected. Matthew Payne has it now. He looks for, and that's a beautifully weighted kick. The lead was on from Big Jed Turner, but Matthew Payne laid it on an absolute silk pillow for him, 35 metres out directly in front.
A silk pillow?
Oh,
beautiful.
Call it a velvet pillow if you wish. He delivered it with such style is what I'm trying to get across, Kanga.
Absolutely, that was, and Matthew Payne, take a bow, take a bow.
Brilliant work. So Jed Turner comes in for Aspley, the left foot, deliberate and straight through the middle for their 4th goal. 4-1-25. Southport a little shell-shocked here in the first quarter. They were 1 solitary behind. We played about, 17 minutes here of the first term on Neefle TV.
Wind obviously a decisive factor, but some of the non-negotiables, the contested ball, 27-19 to Aspley, that's something you can even up no matter the conditions. And they've just been beaten throughout the midfield so far. Matthews has been terrific. Obviously Payne with that beautiful vision inside to find Turner. They're just all over them at the moment.
So in the round 3 game down here, Aspley only kicked 6 goals, and first quarter we are 17 minutes in, and I've already got 4 on the board. So back in the middle, Walbers went high, went early. Here's Smith getting in there. Here's Turner. He goes forward again. So under siege, Southport's back line. Stewart went over the top, just managed to get a finger on it. Now the ball's with Sainsbury. He's a clever operator. Just goes with the check side. And again, I didn't have enough on it. So Payne it was. I thought it was a mark. He goes back and he just goes bang. So Payne is inflicting such on the Southport Sharks.
You've got
it is raining. Goals here.
Fellow
early.
commentator Michael Price just shaking his head at how good that was from Payne. Just the two shimmies just shook him off and finished lovely. Just drifted it in on the wind. Magnificent finish.
Look, it was absolutely brilliant stuff. He is, when he's got the ball in his hands, he is like that time machine. Everything else slows down. He's got all the time in the world, and he delivers it like he's got all of that time. Magnificent stuff.
And he's in good form. 29 possessions last week, 11 clearances if you don't mind, and 9 inside 50s. You know, he is going very, very well.
So Aspley up by 5 straight goals here at Fankhauser Reserve. Neville TV, round 15. Turner gets the clearance, kicks it long inside 50. Big fly at the back was Nellis. Punches it forward. Sainsbury. Handball over to Matthews. Right shoe, and probably misses what he could have kicked there.
That's the one area of his game that lets him down. He finds a lot of the footy. He's a great clearance player, but just the finishing, the end product with the kick.
5 goals won the margin now. Aspley dominating this first term against Southport on their home deck here at Fankhauser Reserve.
So Headland looking for a target. They've been under siege. Didn't look like he got as much on it as he could have, but the ball works out, and it still works out well for him. And it's Stewart with the ball. Looking for a target now, called to go. Has to go high and long. And the punch came from Aspley. Lucy gathers on the half volley nicely, but it is over the line before he does so. 70 metres around from Aspley's goal, and Southport, fair to say, under immense pressure.
So the throw in. It's taken at the back by Wagner. He's taken immediately, and that's holding the ball, says the umpire. So Southport will take that free kick. A bit of inexperience there from the young fella. So Sam Haslam will take it for Southport. Once he collects the ball, he does. Not a lot of movement ahead for him. Very little, in fact, so he tries to get around the man on the mark. He does so, gets around Matthews, uses the left shoe towards the wing, Gavin Gross with the big left fist. Belts it towards the Doug Hannell Memorial scoreboard, where it shows Aspley leading by 31 points.
Comprehensive, decisive at this point, have been the Hornets. Walber's head front spot, got a hand on it. Cornish is underneath there, just belts it forward as best he can. Wagner's in there as well. Now they feed the ball out. They're away again. Lucy gives it off to Thompson. Thompson goes short, finds Payne. Payne goes quickly, and ill-directed on this occasion. It's Callanan, who is just mopped up deep in defence for the Sharks. Goes across to Burton, just short. He's got a short one on as well, and he finds him. It's Stewart. Stewart goes back and's got Keller. Now they're coming out the clubhouse side. The kick didn't quite find his target initially. Mills took it on the bounce. Now to Thine, now to Grayson. Now they've got a bit of space and go up. Clark just lost his footing. Tickner's there to mop up. Just gets a handball across. Now to Copeland. Copeland in the middle of the ground and has Jed Turner, a great goal kicker in this first quarter.
Turner plays on, left foot. Oh, he's got one of the Wagners out there, Josh Wagner by himself. Handball back into Ryan Thompson. Straight through the corridor. Ball holds up a little. Sainsbury at the back with a couple of hands in the back there. Missed it as well. Callanan mops up for the Sharks. Screws it around on the left foot. Now Aspley should be able to collect this ball. Wagner now looking for a handball inboard. Matthews under pressure. Wanted the 1-2, did Wagner. He gets it back. Now he shoots it out wide. Lucy inside 50. Walbers at the back. No, it wasn't. It was actually Ben Headland took it for Southport at the back. Walbers will get it now. They should be able to clean up here, the Sharks. Oh no.
They're in trouble here. Here's Stewart. Stewart, now big Walbers. He can't have it. So Haslam, he's under pressure, just feeds it back. Headland, they're 6s and 7s at the moment. And that's Salter, and now he settles it down by getting a very short kick away, and that was to Weller. Weller goes over the top to Burge. Burge to half forward now. They haven't got much there, but they do have Pope. He's outnumbered. Pettit's on top of him now. Look out, Fraser Pope. But the umpire says, give it to me. It'll be a ball up. And we played 22 and a half minutes first quarter here at Fankhauser Reserve.
And Ken, you mentioned they look like they're a little bit at 6s and 7s. It's just because they've dropped severe numbers behind the ball now to sort of limit the damage, and just no targets up forward to kick to at the moment.
So Aspley via Gross goes down the outside. It's a nice mark there taken by Hughes. He's got a couple of numbers inboard, sees Pettit, finds in great pass. Now the run of Lucy. He gets it on to Joyce. He has a bounce now. Oh, they're moving the ball beautifully, Aspley, as it gets to Toy. Toy the left foot, and as soon as you put a wrap on him, he scrubs it forward and it'll go over the boundary line. No, well kept in by the Southport Sharks in Keller. Goes long to half forward, looking for a teammate there. Juggling effort, good mark by Ben Headland.
It's been in good form, Headland. He had 28 possessions in round 3 against Aspley, and he was very good last week.
And that was his 7th disposal for the day, so he's finding plenty of it early as well.
So they're away, Southport. This is Weller. The 34, errant kick though, and this is Wagner of the Corey varietal. At half back. Goes to Hughes. Just looking for options. They've spread wonderfully there. They can just about raffle it. This time it's French has it. Goes up towards Nellis. They've got the runners underneath him, but it goes around. He does the U-turn. Now he's on the left, goes high. Sainsbury's there, but just working back magnificently and courageously is Todd Grayson for the Sharks.
Talk
10th
about a bloke.
disposal for him today as well. Leading possession winner on the ground so far.
I was about to say, talk about a bloke in form. The last couple of times I've seen the Southport Sharks play, this bloke just collects possessions at will, as does Ben Wells here for Southport. Not a lot to kick to, as you alluded to earlier, with their numbers back. Big lead on there and honoured. Nice pass and the mark taken on the chest. Wells goes forward now. He's looking for his teammate again. They've
and 50.
Oh, and then 50 there for the late push by Clinton French, was it?
Yep, not much in it though.
So it's Haslam now. He has the ball and he'll go. Well, how far is he going to end up out? About 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Just got Craig Starcevich in my ear telling me that was a good decision.
Oh, very good decision. If you're going to have somebody at the hierarchy agree with it, it's got to be Craig Starcevich. There you go. As it looks like Callinan's coming off.
It looks like he's got a sore shoulder tonight.
Bit of a stinger there.
To do with the arm.
Not
Well, he was
it.
the one from earlier in the game who went down with that heavy collision, so obviously still feeling the effects.
So Haslam gets the first goal for the Southport Sharks. They're finally on the board late in the first term here. 1-1-7 plays 5-2-32 in favour of Aspley.
And we just saw, as you mentioned, coming off with the stinger on his shoulder, Callinan. He's the one they're using as the loose in defence, so that could be a big loss if he's unable to get that shoulder right today.
Now, it's pretty fair to say that John Blair would be a bit annoyed with that 50-metre penalty because they've had all the play, the ascendancy on this contest so far, and it's like giving the opposition a bit of a sniff when they're going into the breeze, and that's what they probably need going into a quarter time or very close to.
Yeah, you would have preferred the 5-goal lead as opposed to the 4-goal lead, especially with that.
Well, mathematics would say yes.
Exactly right. As Turner comes back onto the field for Aspley, looks like he's going to head down towards the forward line.
So ball back in the middle here. Meatful TV, round 15, approaching quarter time. Pettit went up high, coming through there was Holman. Just pushes the ball out wide. Joyce is there. He's wrestling with Burton. Bit of WWS stuff. And the umpire will say, give it to me, boys. Break. And we will renew hostilities after the ball gets thrown in the air. Ball goes up again. Pettit. Nobody had got a hand on it. There's Salto. Gets it off to Walbers. Big Willie gives it off to Thine. Thine on the left foot. Tries for Wells. Had the ball punched away. Now he gets it to Wells. Goes short and finds Haslam in front of Tickner. A bit of close attention by Kane Tickner there on Wells. And we might have a bit of blood.
Yeah, there is a blood rule there. The umpires signalled that. So it looks like Haslam coming off with that blood rule, and Tyne's going to take the free kick.
They always stand around nice and close to get an extra possession when somebody goes off with the blood rule. Michael? Don't mind a bit of that action. Pick up a cheap kick.
Looks like it's a cut on the hand by the looks of things.
And talking about cuts on the hand or hands, that's why Eddie Mallon's not out there. He's had a bit of an injury at work. He burnt his hand, and you might see him out there.
It's on the face, sorry, just on the massive gash on the side of the head.
Bit of claret.
Left eye claret.
So that's why he had blood on the hands. He'd gone to mop it away and just...
So we're just waiting for a Southport player to come back on the ground, I think. No, called time now. So Thine it is. Goes short, looking for a target. Well done. Finds Wells on 50. Tough task. He'll look short again and coming out to meet it. And a good kick and open space up very well there. And that was Goldsmith who ends up with the ball. Big Jake.
I think Aspley would be pretty disappointed with that, though. They had a number of players in the back 50, and just for Goldsmith to take a mark uncontested in the end, something John Blair wouldn't really be happy with. But I think Southport's fought back really well after, obviously, the first 5 goals of the game. They firstly stopped them from scoring. Now have the opportunity to add their second goal for the game.
So Goldsmith comes in. It'll be a tough kick. It goes across the face, and it is out of bounds. It's Todd Grayson's goal-keeping skills.
He did very well.
Cup, just got a touch on it, and it'll be a throw-in instead of a kick to Aspley.
Yeah, he did very well to save that from being out of bounds on the full, did Todd Grayson. So throw in, right forward pocket. The breeze has picked up and Southport kicking against it as we speak. Walber's got a hand to it. Grayson to Wells, left foot, and that's about as wide as you can get, and it hasn't even hit the boundary line. The wind held it up. Hutchinson picks it up for Aspley. Kicks it long towards right half-back. It's going to bounce for Shreve. Shreve well shepherded, but he overcooks the handball. Jack Stanley, will he be able to pick it up? He does, and tackled as he does so, and that's quarter time here at Fankhauser Reserve, where you've got the Aspley Hornets leading 5-2-32 to Southport 1-1-7. It's a 25-point margin, and especially being Southport's home ground, we didn't think that was what was going to happen in the first term.
Well, Aspley came in as favourites today via the betting agencies. It might like to have a little tipple on the NEFL competition, very much so, but Southport, we'll see what they can do with the breeze in the second quarter to see if they can level it up or get ahead.
Exactly right. It's a bit too early to make any concrete predictions as yet until we see Southport with the aid of the breeze. They know how to play this ground really well, and I think we'll see them come right back into the contest in the second quarter. Just really quickly before we leave you for quarter time, some stats. Todd Grayson 11 leads all comers for Southport. Stephen Tyne with 7, and Ben Wells also with 7. And for Aspley, Matthews with 8, Lucy also with 8, Copeland with 6, and Payne also.
So it is a 25-point lead here at quarter time at Fankhauser Reserve. It is NEFL TV, round 15. We'll be back with the second quarter. Welcome back here to Fankhauser Reserve. It is the round 15 clash between the Southport Sharks and the Aspley Hornets. At quarter time, it is a 25-point lead to the Aspley Hornets. They've had the benefit of the breeze, and we'll see what Southport can do. It's Mark Kennedy here with Michael Price and Liam Dettering. And boys, we're expecting obviously Southport to fight back.
Yeah, certainly, Kanga. Just with the aid of the breeze, they should come right back and do it. They did really well to limit Aspley at the end of the first quarter, so I think they're in a pretty decent shape to come back here.
So Southport attacking the left of screen, which is the scoring end here at Fankhauser Reserve today. Hill gets the tap down. It's immediately taken there by Matthews for Aspley. He's taken high and will get the free kick. Wants to play on, does so. Goes to right half forward. The ball just swirls around, drops just in front of Nellis there. Picked up there by Stewart, scrubbed forward by the Sharks. Now Daniel Smith controls the ball. Bit of a wobbler, but gets it to Gavin Gross, right on centre wing. He's got some movement. Some of it is dangerous, so he neglects to use those and goes down the line, right half forward. It's going to fall nicely for Payne. Punched away by Darren Stewart for Southport. Nice defence in the right half forward area.
And already I've noticed that Stanley seems to be pushing back in defence, playing that extra man. And now, when the ball's in this position, he's just pushing forward just that touch to create that extra man attack. Here's Lucy, just well wrapped up, manages to get a kick away or a handball away to Matthews, who belts it inside forward 50. Ball's now with Keller, who got it from Grayson, and before him Mills. Ball's back and Gross. Anything but, that was a beauty. He goes forward now, looking for a target, and can only find Keller, I think it is, in the back pocket.
So Keller for Southport looks to change direction, ill-directed kick. Now Stanley controls it for Aspley, the outside of the boot, looks for Sainsbury. He overruns the ball. Southport have the numbers to mop up, and they will. It's coming out now. Good exchange of handballs, chipping pass, and it finds Geary. So Geary wants to move it along, gets it to Grayson. Grayson handball backwards now. He'll get the ball back. It was an enterprising handball. Put him under pressure though. A lot of good tackling pressure from Aspley in their forward 50. Ball stuck underneath there. The umpire says we will ball it up right in the corner of the 50-metre arc in the boundary.
Well, they wanted to kick long there, but all they could see was Gross standing by himself, perfectly positioned. They had to go short with the handballs and couldn't get it out of the defensive end.
So the ball up there just found the boundary line, and we'll have another one to come. Or went over on the full, I think.
Bit of a conference here,
So,
and Matthew Payne's claiming it.
No, it's off the ruck. If it went back out on the full, obviously it's a free kick, but if it bounced... So umpire's just having a conference here.
I think they're just trying to work out whose hand was actually on the ball to push it over there on the full. So, there he is. He's never short of getting around to getting a kick. That's Matty Payne. He puts it over the head of Nellis on this occasion. And Hughes was there. He was with Mills, and the ball beats them out of bounds just around from the Aspley goal.
Grayson already up to 14 disposals. He's looking to set all sorts of records today, I think. Cracking pace early.
So they're going again. Here's Hill, been forced in the ruck. Merritt's gone down injured. Here's Cornish. He was very good the pasty last week against the Gold Coast Suns. Now, here is Toy. Just whips it around the corner. Holds up in the breeze. Here's Haslam. He's got the 46. Gives it to the another man who's changed jumpers in Burge. Now gets it off to Grayson. That's number 15. Just gets it outside defensive 50. And plenty of numbers around this pill again as Wells just belts it forward. Here's Wagner, he's in there as well, now slung. Southport with some quick hands, trying to extricate the ball. Plenty of numbers around the ball all of a sudden. And Lucy it is, gets it back to Thompson for Aspley, and they're inside forward 50 towards Nellis. Nellis, there's Stewart. And he gave the free kick away, and it will be Nellis who goes back and takes the kick right on the 50-metre arc, Michael.
The truce in half-forward position, he'd have to really belt this to get it there. Tries the chipping pass to Sainsbury, who's dealt with, plays for the free kick. Wade Mills has got the ball stuck underneath him. Umpire's interested. It's picked up there by Cornish. He's tackled, and the umpire will ball it up 45 metres out from the Aspley goal. Currently leading by the 25 points. Nothing's changed since quarter time. Throw up now. Jed Turner gets the tap down beautifully to Matthews. Tackled just as he put his foot to the ball, and it'll hit the behind post out of bounds on the full. It'll be a Southport free kick from the back pocket. To take it will be the captain, Jason Burge, who's wearing the unfamiliar number of 42.
Goes over the top, finds Headland. Goes laterally, finds Fine. Fine over the top, back to Headland. Trouble here though. Lucy sweeps on it for Aspley. Gave the no-look handball. Now goes backwards to Hughes. He's forced to go backwards again. Thompson's there. And the ball will go out of bounds again, and it'll be around from Aspley's goal.
So the umpire shaping up to throw it in at left half forward for the Aspley Hornets, leading by 25 points here at Fankhauser Reserve. This is round 15 in near-full TV. Ball drops, and it's taken by Tyler Cornish. Gets the handball back out to Haslam. Slung onto the boot now towards the outer wing. Copeland has the sit for Aspley. Punched when he could have actually taken the mark. Ball ends up there with Wagner. He wants the 1-2. He's ignored now, intercepting beautifully. The big fella in Walbers wobbles it inside 50. Hutchinson is leading the chase for the ball. Controls it nicely, heading towards the boundary line, but he's got enough on it. Will he get the kick to his teammate? He does. That was taken by Henry Joyce, who was under pressure from Luke Shreve, but a good bit of play there from Hutchinson in the back line.
It was a good kick by Hutchinson there too. Against the breeze, under a bit of pressure. Smith has it, goes back to Joyce. Just holding the ball across half back. Goes laterally now to Wagner. That was Josh. Gives it to Day. And a beautiful day it is too. He takes a bounce and goes further afield up towards Payne. Fortuitously gets over the back. That's Hughes. Good handball over the top to Thompson. Here's Joyce again. Gives it to Lucy. Lucy inside forward 50. Shoots for goal. And that's a ripper. Straight to the heart of the Sharks.
Terrific ball movement from the Hornets though, Kanga. Just they switched the ball really well. Joyce took it on. Perfect kick across the ground, opened them up. And Lucy got on the end of it. A great chain of handballs and finished off really well.
It's great work there by Joyce. He was involved right in front of us in his commentary position and linked up beautifully to give that final handball to Lucy. And that was Lucy's second goal for the afternoon, Mike.
Yeah, great running from Henry Joyce, as you say. Can go straight down the corridor, a nice little 100-metre sprint to get from the back line up there to provide the work there.
And Pricey, one thing Aspley are doing in this quarter, defending really well, which Southport didn't, is when they're defending, they're locking Southport into one side of the ground and they're not leaving that switch open, which is what Aspley used so effectively in the first quarter.
So Will Walbers falls heavily for Southport in that ruck contest. That's the last thing they need with their big fella in Merritt already down, but here's Joyce again, controls the ball for Aspley, wheels around onto the right foot and chopping the ball off there. Is the Southport defender in Ben Headland. He wants to get a move on quickly and does. He goes out to Haslam, back to Headland, who's running down the outer side now. Just misdirected kick. He was looking for Ben Wells, but chipping in nicely was Ryan Thompson for Aspley, and they'll look to repel quickly.
Thompson finds Smith. They're on the move again. Wagner just lined up and runs through half-back, goes up towards Nellis. Can't quite take the mark, but there, swooping, is Toy. He shimmies, he stops, he just puts it on the ground, gives it to Hughes now. Back to Smith, inside forward 50. Here comes Sansbury, dangerous times. Right with him there was Keller. And Grayson goes and mops up, and Southport might get out of a little bit of trouble here. It's fine, and it ends up with Stewart in the back pocket.
So Stewart chips it across now. Ben Headland looking for options. He's got the run of Tyne. Handball to him. Now Tyne spins around onto his left shoe. He's going to get the ball back to Mills, and that came from, or the changed jumpers, that was Burge again. I keep getting him confused. He's got the jumper. That's Haslam in the new jumper as well. So it's on the outer side for the Southport Sharks, looking to do something here in the second term. 5 goals down they are. Good contest there from Wagner. Handball backwards now. Hughes is going to accept the ball just on the other side of the centre square. Austin Lucy's just come off the bench and has an absolute paddock as a result. So he receives the ball, has a bounce. He goes down the line, right half forward. Oh, I can see what he was trying to do, trying to get to that player beyond the pack in Jack Stanley, but it was beautifully cut off by Darren Stewart. The kick was too short.
Now Thine through the middle of the ground. Here he comes. So he gives it the old 1-2 and has it back again. Now gives it off to Headland. Headland can go over the top. Now the ball's with Weller. Weller inside forward 50. That's a rup. That is a goal, and a sorely needed goal for the Southport Sharks. So Lockie Weller in the 34. He has absolutely barreled that straight over the umpire's hat. So great news for the Southport Sharks there. And the score moves along to 6-2-38 to Southport, 2-1-13.
But that's the best ball movement we've seen from Southport all day. They just link really well with the hands. And Tyne's someone who really straightens them up. He's just, you know, he constantly links up. He links them up really well. Just got the handball a couple of times there. Got them going forward. Weller got on the end of it and finished off really nicely from 50 metres out.
So here it is, back to the 25-point margin that we had at quarter time here at Fankhauser Reserve. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling your action with Nearfield journalist Liam Dettering with your special comments. Lucy kicks it towards half forward. Good work from the Southport defence. They've got the numbers. Grayson with a tight handball out. It's going to end up with Fraser Pope now. He overruns it, still fighting for it now. Geary ducks under one, picks it up. Slaps it forward with his right boot. Copeland being held, actually, well, let's call it a draw. They were both being held by each other. Daniel Smith picks it up for Aspley. Looking for a pass. He will get it to Payne. No, it drops short. Grayson now has it at half-back for the Sharks, and they're away here through Haslam.
Haslam gives it off to Pope. Pope, out of wing, just chips it back inboard and finds Burge in the unfamiliar 42, or more familiar these days. He goes long over the top. Goldsmith's there, just over his head and through for a behind. So, starting to press a little bit more now, the Sharks, which is good. We have Hutchison bring it back in as Gross. Gross goes long, right in front of us here in the commentary position. Just eludes Payne. Now he's wrapped up after he wrapped the ball up. Good tackle there, and he is in trouble. And it is Salter who laid a ripping tackle and will take the free kick right in front of us. So we've got a beautiful look at that.
Great tackle there from Regan Salter. A couple of goals last week and doing the hard work here, right in front of the commentary box here. Gets onto the right foot. It's a 2-on-1 there. Copeland misread it over the back of his head, picked up there by Goldsmith. He tries to don't argue on a couple. Ball spills. Matthews picks it up. Now shoots the handball forward to Tickner. The dribbler down towards Hughes. Geary injects himself. The ball's still in though. Picked up there by Cornish. Handball back in. Headland. Headland now to Hill. To the run of Grayson, who's racking up the stats for the Sharks. Great ball, great vision. He finds Haslam in the middle. He's got a runner on the outer wing. That's Keller. Will it sit for him? It does. 70 metres from goal. Long bomb inside 50. Looking for the big... Oh, there was flyers everywhere for Aspley and crummers for the Sharks. One of them was Adam Clark, who did a beautiful bit of roving and spun onto his right foot and kicked their third goal. Boy, it was hard work getting there, but they got there.
Certainly did in the end, Pricey, but just the cardinal sin from Aspley. They had 3 or 4 blokes fly for it, no one on the ground. Southport had all the crummers, and it was a really nice finish there by Clark.
Yeah, you're dead right there. Aspley had 4 numbers flying for that ball against one solitary Southport performer, and all the other 3 opponents on the deck, Clark being one of them, scooped it up for the goal. That is definitely the scoring end.
So it narrows the margin to 3 straight kicks. 6-2, playing 3-2. For those that can't add up quickly, that's 38-20. Neefle TV, round 15. 2 very good sides going at it. Southport and Aspley. Here's Toy. Turns around, goes to half forward. Holman just bats it down in the path of Lucy. Lucy can go at it now towards Sandsbury. Just worked his opponent off the ball illegally, the umpire says. And it will be Keller who takes the free kick, and he gets it off to Headland. Back to Keller. Now back to Mills. They're going backwards to hopefully go forwards. And here they are. This might be Geary, I think. Back to Mills. Still inside their defensive 50, and they relieve here, although plenty of numbers with Aspley. And it's Matthews who mops it up, gives a handball quickly. Wagner lays a shepherd, but to no real avail. Now he's going to end up with the ball. Gets it off to Turner. Been a little bit quieter in the second quarter after having a ripping first quarter. And back to Wagner, who absolutely butchers it straight to Haslam. And I'm going to run out of breath in a minute, so I might hand it over to Michael Price. We see lots of players around this contest.
Haslam now in wearing the number 46, kicks it long. It's going to end up with Ben Wells. He couldn't get a handle on it. Gets tackled, back to Haslam. To right half forward, Aspley the numbers. Gross will make it there first. He does. He's got people running everywhere for him, including Henry Joyce. Accepts the ball in the defensive 50. Wheels around, he has his first bounce, has a second. He's going to go for the short pass, and he missed his target in Corey Wagner. Shreve takes the mark for the Sharks. So Luke Shreve, now given what we've seen to the left of screen here, should have the distance covered.
Poor skill error coming out, just overcooked it, and straight to Shreve.
So Luke Shreve let go from just outside 50, gets onto it. No, it's just off the right side of the boot. Big fly from Goldsmith. Oh, well rove there too, but tackled by Gross. That was Geary who picked the ball up. Gross threw him over the boundary line. It'll be a throw in right next to the behind post. Love to see those big fellas like Goldsmith take the big fly, just yet to clunk one of those big grabs.
So ball back in, close to Southport's goal. Turner just bats it off back towards the boundary line. Here's Weller, kicked a good goal earlier. Just slipped it around the corner, and it's Turner who just runs it over the line with the dreadlocked, headbanded one in Haslam in the 46. You just joined us. It was Aspley early. No, kicking with the aid of the breeze, and now Southport looking to strike back. Goldsmith works his opponent under the ball, goes around the left, but tries to bring rain, but not a goal on this occasion. Now they scoop on it. Here's Geary. Just takes a snap and can't wheel it back enough, and will go out of bounds on the full, and Aspley will have a chance to relieve a little bit of pressure.
We played about 16 minutes of this second term here on Neefle TV. Aspley with the early goal, but having troubled the scorers since. Definitely the left of screen, favoured by the wind.
Southport just not taking their chances at the moment. They're really making hard work of their forward entries here, really struggling to get a clear shot on goal.
Just the 2 goals won for the Southport Sharks as Aspley bring the ball back in. Corey Wagner now. Boy, oh boy, they must think he's 2 foot taller than he is. It went over his head again. The ball stuck underneath him. Umpire's looking at it with interest, puts the whistle to mouth, hugs himself and says we will have a ball up 20 metres from the Southport goal. A lot of forward pressure going on from the Southport Sharks to keep the ball in there. Third man up, the big fly there was Weller. Ball hits the deck. Aspley should have the ball away here. French gets it out, but it's intercepted by the Sharks, bouncing for Clark. Clark overcooks the handball, but he backs up. Good work. Chip forward inside 50. Fraser Pope, juggling effort, no. Ball spills. Wagner takes care of his opponent. The ball's still stuck underneath him. Oh, he just threw that out there, did Corey Wagner. Dummy half style, and the ball's going to end up in front of the commentary box here.
And Southport have it again. Now is Stewart. Stewart kicks a worm burner. Finds Clark, who gives it off to Cornish. Goes one way, goes another, gives it off to Pope. Now they're trying to mess this up. Pope's good enough just to hang on to it. Now back to Clark. Now by Thine, and the ball is with Hill, and they're inside the centre square.
Well, you've got Jed Turner, who's parked himself at the hot spot for Aspley, about 25 metres from goal. You can't just bomb it in there.
They went sideways, found Mills. Now they've gone out the other side, and they've got Grayson, leading possession getter for the Sharks. Now he goes, looking for a target. Geary over the top of his head. Turner was there, but it beats him over the line. Just interesting, boys. Fraser Pope, he's a prolific ball winner, and I was just looking at the stats before, and I think he's only had 3 or 4 possessions for the game so far, so they'll be looking for a big lift from him.
Up to 5 now.
So ball back in the middle, or ball back, throw in I should say. Here's Hutchison. The athletic defender just gets it outside defensive 50. Here's Grayson again. Gives it back to Mills. Mills can go down the line to Thine. Has it on the outer side. Not sure what to do. He's going, come on boys, somebody come at me. So he goes long in the hot spot. Gross got a fist on it because it went over the top. Here's Wells, gives it back to Cornish. Cornish can shoot for a behind. So not making the most of their efforts here, Southport, and it is Aspley by 17 points as Robbie Copeland has the ball in full back.
Copeland looking for a teammate in Tickner, just got Shreve underneath the ball, could have tunnelled him. Umpire has called that. Southport have the ball now. Pope racks it up for his 6th stat Kanga, kicks it inside 50. Shreve over the ball for Southport now. Aspley get it through Hutchinson. Clinton French now wheels around. Good bit of shepherding work from the big fella. Gets it over Haslam. Now that was Holman giving the ball to Joyce. Kicks it long down the corridor. Eddie Sainsbury's 2-on-1 here. Controls it beautifully with the right shoe. Oh, and that's a well-weighted kick. Will Stewart get there for Southport? Jack Stanley battled well for Aspley, but Stewart even better. Gave the ball to Headland, and the Southport Sharks are away.
Ends up with Thine. Gives it to Mills. They're away again. Burge, he was under pressure there from Payne, and Payne gave the free kick away, which will actually hold play up, so Aspley won't mind that. Goes laterally, finds Shreve. Shreve kicks it low and hard over the top. He's working hard there with Salter. His opposite number in Joey Day. He repels for Aspley. Goes up towards half forward. Could have just about given a free kick away there to Stanley. But here's Stewart. Just lays a bump on Day. And Burge, he just flips the handball out to Cornish. They go wide to Grayson. And Grayson just goes down the line, and Big Pettit will take the relieving mark in a bit of a nothing kick, Michael. You throw your hands up, and I understand why.
Oh, well, look, when you've got the 2-on-1s, they're just bombing it long instead of... They were mucking around with it before exchanging handballs, but they've got to try a different way of entering their forward 50 as Copeland has it for Aspley on the outer wing. Under pressure, he goes long inside 50. It just holds up in the wind. Holman battling for Aspley. Nice work there by Ben Headland for Southport, but Holman wins out. How's that for a tackle from Keller? Gets the ball, does beautifully. The tackle, the grabbing of the ball and the handball as well. So the Southport Sharks are away in the corridor. Inside 50, Adam Clark up against young Josh Wagner. Wagner did well. Down to Smith. Smith, good contest coming up here. Nice work between the Southport pair, Nick Burton versus his opponent in Holman. Now, over the boundary line. There's a lot of pressure on the ball carrier at the minute. 17 points the margin, Kanga, with Aspley leading proceedings 38-21.
So the ball back in. Here's Burton again. He gives it off to Burge. Use a bit of leg speed. Now he goes inside forward 50 and just puts it to the wrong side because nobody was there bar Hutchison. And all of a sudden, Aspley go, we're off to the races here, and Stanley. So they're flooding forward. Goes off towards Payne. Stewart is with him. I tell you what, if he's going to use a bit of leg speed potentially, but no. He just butchers the kick, and Keller just juggles the ball over the line. Would have been a great mark in general play if it didn't go over the line with that juggle. So they're inside there attacking 50 Aspley.
They certainly are.
From defence to offence very quickly.
They haven't scored since the very early stages of this second term here at Fankhauser Reserve. Southport have added a couple of goals and a couple of behinds. Aspley now. Here's Daniel Smith, has the sit, and Nellis comes out and accepts it on the chest. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle.
It's the difference of the open forward line, though, because we've seen Aspley put mounds and numbers behind the ball, and Southport just haven't been able to find that forward target. But Aspley with the space, Nellis just running onto it, now goes back to kick Aspley's 7th of the day. 3
goals last week to James Nellis. Hasn't troubled the scorers yet. His first attempt on goal today. Steady approach. And it starts right and veers violently right, so you only get the one behind. So that's Aspley's first score since the very start of this term. 6-3-39, placed 3-3-21 here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Headland it is to bring it back in, looking for his key defensive partner in Mills, and finds him. 30 metres from his own goal. Has Thine over the top, but just coming in to meet him there with Stanley, and they will force a throw-in and another contest in their forward half of the ground. So good work there defensively by the Aspley forwards. Ball in again. Give that one to Walbers. Payne just shuffles it forward. Sansbury and Keller. Good work there by Keller. Now, plenty of numbers around the ball. Good tackle there laid by Keller again. He's been very prominent down back.
Doing a great job on Eddie Sansbury at the moment is Jake Keller.
Just the one goal. Very good matchup. Ball up again. Walbers with that big long arm over the top. Payne is just wrapped up, and we will have another stoppage. 30 metres out from Southport's, from Aspley's goal.
I mentioned doing a good job. Sansbury's only had the 5 touches for today, so Keller's done a terrific job.
Okay, so the ball up. Aspley now with the chances. Payne gets the handball out to Lucy. Lucy sees something he likes. He overcooks the kick. Could advantage Southport here. Well, it did advantage Hill. Now it's going to end up back with the Hornets. Gross, the handball to Ryan Thompson. Sees Lucy. Smashes it into his chest, 45 metres out directly in front. They are looking like they're moving the ball better back towards what they were doing early in the first term.
Well, certainly when they've had their chances this quarter, they've managed to hit up a target inside 50. When Southport's been going forward, it's just been a long bomb, a kick in hope, which Aspley's sort of been able to defuse.
Oh, now Gross accepts the handball from 55. Bang, the left shoe.
I know he didn't kick the goal there, but how lax was the defending? Knowing Gross's leg, just let him run through the open 50. It's sort of unthinkable that you could do that.
Perhaps they were thinking that there was no way he was going to land that against the wind. He still made the distance just wide. So a behind result. So Aspley go further in front.
So they'll go again. Advantage is paid on that free kick. There was Matthews, who gets battered down to Lucy, back to Hughes, who was the one that battered it down to him. Now just weaving, turning, French goes around the corner and just misses to the near side. So missed opportunity, and for Aspley, and breathing a sigh of relief will be the Sharks approaching half time. So Burge, deep in his own defence.
Oh,
Gross, good punch. Good work there. Now Lucy has a go again. This time they don't escape because Lucy puts it to them and puts them to the sword for his 3rd goal of the game.
Lucy's been absolutely sensational today. Best on ground for mine at the moment. That's his 19th disposal, 3rd goal, 4 inside 50s and 3 clearances as well. If you don't mind, he's been terrific today.
And Southport captain and Jason Burge will be ruining that missed opportunity, that kick that he just didn't hit the target. Turned over too quickly. You're going to pay the price with a player like Austin Lucy.
And for the amount of time Southport spent in the forward half in this second quarter, they've made almost no inroad on the scoreboard. I think only a goal, they've only got a pegged a goal back. Aspley, when they've gone forwards, obviously made the most of their chances.
Well, it's actually Aspley increased their lead by a behind since quarter time, as it's turned out. 2 goals, 3 plays in this term, at least 2 goals, 2. So the umpire will bang it down in the middle again. Jed Turner in the ruck for Aspley will tap it down to Payne. Payne kicks it towards half forward. Nice juggling effort there by Ben Wells. Under the hammer from Daniel Smith. Ball stuck under the pair of them. Umpire should ball it up, and does, as we have about 12 players converge. 7-5-47 to 3-3-21 late in the second term here at Fankhauser Reserve in favour of Aspley. That's going nowhere. Matthew Payne tackled by Geary, and the umpire will do it all again from the same spot. Turner versus Walbers. I'll give that one to Walbers, even though Payne got it for Aspley to Holman. Holman inside 50. Sainsbury and the siren beats them both as Keller gets a fist to it, and there it is. 26 points the margin at half-time, Kanga.
So very good work there by the Aspley Hornets, and the Sharks plenty to think about. Of course, they've already lost Ben Merritt at quarter time with an ankle injury.
I don't think we saw Callan in that quarter either.
And we didn't. I was just about to work back into that one, that Callanan looks like he's got a shoulder injury. Unlikely to see him again. So the Southport, their rotations are going to be very much tested, and the run and carry and clearance work of Aspley is really, really making life difficult for the Sharks here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Certainly, if we just look at the clearance numbers, it's now 23 to 15 to Aspley. They really got on top in the back end of that quarter. It's been pretty even all day, but just Aspley, as you mentioned, Kanga getting on top. Just quickly before we sign off for half-time, key possession winners for Aspley: Lucy with 19, Matthews with 16, and Payne with 14. And for Southport, Grayson with 23, Tyne 20, and the captain Jason Burge with 16.
As we have the backing track up here, just easing us into our half-time break. We'll be back on NEFL TV. It's 26 points to the Aspley Hornets at half-time. So we will see you for a great second half shortly.
beautiful. You can't the Bombers.
A 26-point half-time lead to the Aspley Hornets down here at Fankhauser Reserve on the Gold Coast on a beautiful Sunday afternoon on Neefle TV, round 15. Mark Kennedy here with Michael Price and Liam Dettering. And boys, an entertaining first half of football, and hopefully we will see a fantastic second half upcoming.
Well, just for Southport, it's just important to stay within touching distance at the final change, because if Aspley kick away like they did in the first quarter, it's going to be all over.
So Aspley hitting the left of screen as we speak as Shreve picks the ball up from the clearance. He actually just did not get rid of the ball correctly. Umpire has paid incorrect disposal. The tackle there from big Jed Turner, the ruckman for Aspley. He'll take this free kick. Not a lot of movement ahead. He uses his big left leg. It goes towards Sainsbury territory at the back. A good mark taken by Darren Stewart out front. Good strong hands with Sainsbury jumping all over the back of him. So Stewart looks to measure a kick. Lucy with the spoil over the top of Cornish. Ball hits the deck. Now it's with Jack Stanley. Tackled as he gets rid of the handball. Picked up there by Weller. Now Geary. Geary weaving through traffic. The handball back to Cornish. Now they're just desperately trying to run it through the lines here. Southport through Salter. Nice chipping ball, and that finds Ben Wells on the wing.
Assessing his options. Goes short up the line. Can't quite take possession. Aspley will look to mop up now. This is should say Wagner. Wanted to call him Weller. Tried to find Holman. Wells is with him. So plenty of players around the contest here. Lucy takes a fresh airy, which was probably lucky because the ball just went out of bounds, and we will have it out of side. Early stage this second half. 26 points the margin to the Hornets.
So the boundary umpire throws it in on the outer side in front of the scoreboard. Misses everybody, in fact. Tucked in there, the umpire will have to ball it up again, and we'll have it just outside the centre square.
And of course Southport down 2 players. They lost Ben Merritt, and Zach Callanan actually has some rib injury is what he has.
And Merritt looking very, very dodgy on that ankle, as well as Geary has the ball on the outer side. He's tackled by Smith. Now that could have been in the back. It was a judge to have been holding the ball. A little bit hot on that today, the umpires, which is fantastic. So you've got Daniel Smith now on the outer side, rewarding the tackle. I like to see that. Smith. That's just an average, ordinary, well, you called it nicely, a shocking kick as Tyne has the ball at centre half back for the Southport Sharks, and that's an unusual turnover for Aspley in the scheme of things, the way they've been delivering the ball today.
It is out of character for today. Southport, this is Keller. This goes back to Thine. Now Thine, he's off to the races now. Just finds a bit of open space out towards Stewart. He lumbers off and kicks a little underground worm burner. Finds Shreve. Back off to the run of Thine. Thine can get it forward, kicks it short, but straight to Copeland, over the top. Sainsbury's all there by himself. He can play on. It's only a question of accuracy, and he doesn't have it.
Daniel Smith all by himself, 35 out. Didn't elect to use him there, and probably should have in the end.
Oh, Eddie just probably would have and could have done better as Grayson brings it out and finds Shreve.
He actually had 2 Aspley Hornets there, Daniel Smith and Adam Hughes, both screaming for that ball from Sainsbury, who was never, ever going to not take the shot as they bring the ball back out now, Southport. It's with Austin Lucy for the Hornets. He gets rid of it. Wells back to Lucy. Now it's still in dispute. Matthews got it away, picked up by Smith. He's dealt with. He's buried, in fact. Umpire says we will put... It was a 3-tiered thing going on there with Smith at the bottom.
Looked like a pack of turtles.
It was just stacked up, as Shreve does beautifully. Just like a knife through butter, just gets through that pack as Craig Starcevich is delivering coffee. We love that. Kicks inside 50. Eddie Sainsbury one-handed. How about that? got himself involved in the game, and now he's started to lift a little.
Well, how many times have we seen him do that this year? Just that one hand. He's so clever with the use of his body, and highly skilled player. He's going back now, hopefully to make amends for that miss earlier in the quarter.
Well, he's kicked the one today. Eddie Sainsbury comes in from 30, starts at left. That's an average kick for Eddie's standards, and it just barely made it through for a behind. So Aspley, 2 behinds to start this third term here at Fankhauser Reserve. 49 plays 21.
And Price, it's very rare to see Sainsbury miss 2 chances like that.
So Thine, Stephen Thine, played against his brother for the Gold Coast Suns last week. He was a top-up player and Southport player. Here's Grayson, just handballs the ball and looking for Keller. Instead, found both he and the boundary line, so we'll have a throw-in. Still in Aspley's attacking half. They press. Walbers just manhandled his opponent in Pettit, and he will take the free kick. Gives it off quickly to Sainsbury. Goes short, over the top, delivers. Picture perfect to Adam Hughes.
What a beautiful pass from Sainsbury. That's lace-out stuff. How do you defend against that?
Very rhetorical question, but you can't, Michael. It was a great kick, as you mentioned, from Sainsbury, and Hughes coming in. And normally a pretty reliable set shot for goal. So hopefully he can go back for Aspley and kick there first of the quarter.
So Adam Hughes hasn't troubled the scorers today. Comes in, starts at left and it fades. So didn't give it a chance. And as a result, it's only the 1 point, stretching the margin. So the half century up for the Hornets, and they are 50, playing 21, a 29-point lead as we see Burge kicking the ball short and finding Thine again, still deep in his own defence.
He's going to look back to the run of Burge, handball there, breaks through the tackle, now Grayson. Handball back now, gets through to Keller, back to Tyne, so they're mucking around with it a bit. Southport is still holding possession. Down the outer side, well, big platforms. It was all Aspley there, but there was a push out. The Southport player laying on the ground might have given that away. Free kick to Southport, but they play on. Advantage paid. Not much advantage as Goldsmith was on the deck wrestling with Gavin Gross, who now has a free rein down the outer side, and uncharacteristically, Gavin Gross misses his target by a good metre or so in Matthew Payne. Southport get the free kick between wing and half forward.
He can only kick it about 80 metres.
That's right.
That's the problem. There's no in between. Just kick it short.
There's no sandwich in the kit.
Yeah, that's
he
exactly
just
right.
hits it with the 2-1. That's all.
He's only got a 1 wood. He goes short. The ball's now with Wells. Had a little bit of it on his left foot. Goes up towards Goldsmith. Gross. Goes high, goes early, goes ugly, and Goldsmith will take the free kick.
I think that's
we'll go back for shot.
That is the picture for unrealistic attempt.
Well, when they wrote the definition, I think they included a picture of that in there alongside it.
Absolutely.
So Jake Goldsmith, he'll go back. He hasn't had too much of it today. He's been well held by Gross.
Only the 5 disposals. This is number 6 now.
In the round 11 game against these two sides, he had 10 marks. I don't think he's anywhere up near that this time. He brings around on the angle, goes across his body, and it goes across the face. So no score, so play on. And we have an unusual free kick here, and it is Reece Toy has bumped into the umpire and given away a free kick, and as a result, it will be, I think, Geary who goes back and has a shot for goal. So pick that up. I think I got that right,
I think
Michael.
you got it
If you
right.
got that right, is that also a report for illegal contact with the umpire?
Oh, look. Incidental contact for the umpire.
But can you give a free kick for incidental contact?
We might have to
We
ask
might have
Craig
to clarify
Starcevich
this.
at 3/4 time, but it's Geary who will come in and shoot what will be a vital one if he can get it for Southport. It starts left and over the line for only 1 behind, so can't make them pay and only plugs the margin off by 1 point as we see Aspley bring it out of defence. The turnover nearly comes, but Hughes is good enough to mop it up. Now to Pettit. They go extremely wide to Smith. He just bats it over the top errantly. Now Keller Gives it off to Dine. He tried to use his leg speed but was mopped up by Day. Here's Smith. He's in and under the contest. Pettit just goes over the top of the handball to Lucy, to Joyce. He's shaped to give it to Matthews but goes himself. Sansbury's there at half forward. And it's a push. Gives it away. Put both hands out there, even though he said, oh, it's my hip, umpire. And Stewart will take it away for Southport.
Yeah, a couple of times he's been pinged for that today, has Eddie Sansbury. Just taken that back position and tried to nudge his opponent underneath the ball. Done it illegally a couple of times, and that's a mark that should have been taken there for the Sharks. Aspley now with the ascendancy. It was Headland who could have taken that mark. Delivered a nice tackle to follow up, though, and the ball stuck underneath. And we'll have it thrown up about 80 metres from the Aspley goal on the outer side. They're leading at the moment by 28 points. They had 25 points at the quarter time, 26 at half time, and they're extended their lead by a couple of behind so far, third term. Holman now, handball over to Smith. Smith gets away from his opponent in Shreve. Measures a kick, it's a wobbler, but it gets to Hughes, just over the top. Bounces kindly for him though. He wants to measure a pass, and that is a sack. It just floats. It bounces for Sansbury, who just drags it in. Board, it's taken by Grayson, and again the Sharks will repel Aspley, not as crisp as they were. It's dangerous here though. Nice tackle there comes from Toy. The ball gets released, and they will get away through Tyne.
So Tyne goes out wide, looking for Clark, and now he's got the run of it. Goes back inside, looking for a target. Here's Pope, as we mentioned, hasn't had too much of the ball in that first half. Tried to kick short, but that was good work there by Groves to get a hand in the contest. Now there's plenty of players around there. Aspley extricate the ball. Here's Payne, usually does something good with it. Goes towards Sansbury, and point. Perfect pass. Centimetre perfect, if you like. And Eddie Sansbury will go back and shoot for a goal. A relatively simple one would think, Liam Dettering.
But what a beautiful kick there from Matthew Payne. That was his 15th disposal of the day and the 5th time he's taken his side inside 50. And that's, I think, the 2nd or 3rd time one of those inside 50s has found a target lace out.
So it goes back, simplest of kicks, and a good goal for the Aspley Hornets. That's his 2nd for the day. 1 in the first, 1 in the 3rd, and stretches the lead out to... Is my abacus working? 34 points. So the biggest margin of the game, and the warning bells are well and truly ringing for the Southport Sharks.
Well, Sansbury wasn't going to miss a 3rd simple shot, was he? You just can't give him that many chances inside 50 and expect to get away with it. So Aspley, as you mentioned, starting to get away. 34 points. Southport just need to limit the damage. They're just holding on at the moment. Aspley threatening to break it open. 16
scoring shots to 7 in favour of the Hornets. Their dam walls are just about to burst. You could just feel it. As Hill gets the tap down for Southport. It's picked up there by Austin Lucy though. Slings the ball out now. Southport should be able to repel. The ball's coming out here to the commentary side. That was Burton who just got belted over. Shreve tapped it forward nicely. Fraser Pope collects and delivers. Good work from the Aspley defence. And Jed Turner in the uncustomary role of rover gets it to Matthews. Now to Tickner. Tickner back to Matthews. They're using the corridor and their handball skills well, Aspley. You've got Wagner down the outside. Corey Wagner. It sits for him. Inside 50. He's looking for Sansbury. Keller gets there first, taps it over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in about 30 metres from the Aspley goal.
And not a bad result in the end because Sansbury was really all he had to kick to and got the next best thing out of that, the stoppage, so they can reset here.
So the fleet-footed Hornets really taking it to the Sharks here. The ball back in Aspley's attacking area. Thine put his head over the ball, couldn't quite collect it though. Here's Payne, he swoops on it. He can kick for goal and misses. At least the umpire says so. There's a couple of excited players.
Hit the post.
And hit the post. And Payne's down, just to the left of the goal post. He's all right, he's up and moving now, albeit with a bit of a limp. That's not a goal kicker's limp, that's a point kicker's limp right there.
Dumped after the point.
Well, we looked down to put that one in the book and just strange to see him miss from there, really.
So Keller brings it back in for Southport. They're trailing now by 35 points and they fair dinkum have to get a wriggle on here. They're kicking against the wind in the 3rd term. They're going to the right of screen. Nice little pass there. Got to maintain the possession, make sure they hit their targets. It's the turnovers that have been killing the Sharks so far today. Hill and Turner. Hill uses his body well against Turner. Takes the mark at right half back. A little bit of movement for him, but he's going to come up the line. We'll do the safety first option. And just completely misreading that was Adam Hughes. Grayson just took the mark nicely. He looks for measuring a pass as well. He's got Goldsmith a long way out from goal. Nobody inside 50. He's got Geary running back there. Looks for him. Geary! Beautiful kick there from Goldsmith. You could just see Geary going across, and he finds his teammate 35 metres out. It was Wade Mills who inflicts a little bit of damage on the way up, but that's some good ball use. Was it Fraser Pope who takes the mark 35 metres out from goal?
Well, on 2 occasions they needed perfect kicks. The first one from Grayson found Goldsmith, who was able to take the mark, and then centimetre perfect kick from him, or borrow line from Dennis Cometti. And then obviously Geary just gave it off to the man in the better position there.
Yeah, some good work there by Southport. Better ball movement. Again, they were deliberate with their skills, and that's what's going to get them working against this wind in the third term. As Fraser Pope comes in, the ball holds up in the wind, but it's straight enough, and they get on the board for the third term. 4-4-28. Plays 8-9-57. Here at Fankhauser Reserve, you've got Aspley leading by 29 points.
And you've been riding Pope hard early in this second half as someone who needed to lift. Kangaroos now had, I think, 3 disposals for the quarter and a goal, so up to 11 for the game. And he's going to be one player they certainly need a bit more from if they're going to get back into this game.
Well, that's right, and it does give them a bit of a sniff again. They will kick with this breeze, which is to the left of the screen in the last quarter. Of course, Aspley have the balance of this quarter to really make the most of it. They can stay in touch. They will be able to make a charge, as we see Pope get away from the middle of the ground. He got it forward to Wells, so the momentum might start to build here for the Sharks. This goes back, just holding it up, taking a bit of time. One would think that they would want to try and move it quickly, considering they got out of the middle quickly, but they still find Burton inside forward 50. It'll be a tough kick if he goes for goal. The kick was a terrible one because he was looking for a short one and only finds Josh Wagner. Wagner comes over the top, clubhouse side. Toy goes high, went early, probably could have given the free kick away. Now Headland, I should say, for Southport, just kicks it over the top. Burge gets taken high and will take the free kick. Of course, Merritt is off the ground. We won't see him for the rest of the day. He's got an ankle injury. And it is the 42, Jason Burge.
For disposal number 20.
Usually in the 29, but in the 42 today. And he will just go, asked to go now. So he goes high, 1 on 3. And Southport nearly mop up. The pressure comes from Southport. Wagner lays a good tackle. Here's Cornish, has his kick smothered. Pope just works through. It's not Pope, in fact. It is Salter. Salter snaps a beauty. And Southport, here they come.
As you mentioned there, Kangaroo, great little check side there from Salter, but for the second or third time today, we've seen 3 Aspley blokes fly for the same footy, no one at ground level. And that's been 2 easy goals for Southport from defensive mistakes for Aspley.
They should have mopped that up, Aspley, easily. And they paid the price for not working together as a good defensive unit, fair to say, Michael.
I would think so. Aspley wasting their chances in this third term as well. Southport at least using theirs. 2 goals, 1. Aspley 1 goal 4 this term. So they need to keep this momentum moving, as you said before, Kanga. Southport at the minute, 23 points the margin. You want to be nice and close when you take over this left of screen end, as Matthew Payne explodes from the middle and hits Sainsbury. He misses what he might have taken. French slung it over his shoulder to Nellis. Nellis scrubs it for a behind. It could have been anything.
What about that handball over the top there? He just knew Nellis was there. That was a beauty.
I think
Well, Stewart had left his man to take Sainsbury in the 2-on-1 and Nellis had just snuck out the back.
I'm still debating whether you could judge that a handball, whether it actually hit his fist.
Well, the umpire says yes, and that's all that counts. As Shreve. Oh, Hill went up very early, but called for the Shepherd against Aspley, so Hill will actually take the kick. So that, just to clarify, that was Shreve who kicked it up there. Right in front of us here in the Neefle commentary box. Kick was a poor one, which will allow the turnover. Matthews gives it off to Thompson, I think might have come off the bench. Just chips it over the top. Has French. Ooh la la, he can go inside. Forward 50, gets around his opponent in Stewart, goes over the back, Sansbury, one out, almost minted it with the one juke, and good work there by Keller, and arriving the cavalry was Headland, gives it off to Haslam, off to Thine, off to Clark, off to Grayson by hand, and they're away outside their defensive 50.
Great running movement from Southport, defensive effort there. Grayson's kick gets to Burton. He does well to get the ball, but he actually gets slung as he takes possession. Gets it back to Clark now. He's confronted by Joey Day. Just wants to chip a ball forward. He does, and he finds his captain in Burge. Now, it's cross half forward. Fraser Pope waiting for that. Oh, boy. Could have met it harder, but he took the mark, and that's all that counted. He's at the true centre half forward position. Not a lot of movement for him. So he goes to the big tall timber over the head of Goldsmith. Now Salter roves, gets away from an opponent around the right foot and just scrapes in for one behind. So Southport having more chances but not being able to convert fully.
Really the wrong option from Pope there. He had Tyne and Hill both lining up across the 50, chose to go inside, and they mucked it up in the end.
So Ticknut got it from Copeland. Off to Hughes. Cornish came off the bench to hold him up but fell over, and then the kick went to Toy, attacked it hard. Mills, clumsy, gives away the free kick for too high, and it will be Toy who'll take the free kick. Southport stream back in numbers inside their defensive 50, so he goes laterally, finds Holman. Holman has a target over the top, and it is Wagner of the Corey variety, and Wagner will be able to go back and slot a ninth for Aspley if he can kick truly.
He's looking for his first ever needful goal, so it'll be a big moment for him if he can drill this one for Aspley. And it's important on debut as well. Yep.
The Queensland under-18 player.
So highly rated is Corey Wagner. Comes in, kicks from 45, has enough on it, and he does it well. They go to him, and well they should, because that is a nice little buffer that Aspley have now created with that terrific kick.
Not the easiest of kicks from 50 for your first, that you want to flush it, and he did it nicely, Liam.
Well, he's certainly one of Queensland's most promising youngsters for next year. Obviously, he played bottom age this year for the Queensland under-18s. Obviously benefit from that experience, and also the experience of playing some senior NEAFL football, and he's one to watch certainly next year in his draft year.
Certainly done some good things across halfback today.
Son of, I believe, son of Scott Wagner, who was played some reserve grade football for the Brisbane Bears way back in the day, and at Sandgate he was a very prominent player as well.
As Will Walbers gets the tap down basically to himself. It's intercepted there by Payne. Gets it to Matthews for Aspley. Aspley inside 50 now. Leading in the ball there was Toy. Punched away from him by Grayson, who's having a good game for the Southport Sharks. Stuck underneath there was Wade Mills, who was penalised. And taking the free kick,
Stanley.
it is Jack Stanley, so he'll be in scoring distance. He will unload from just on 50. Wade Mills still disputing that decision with the umpire.
Well, it was a brilliant tackle, no matter what Wade Mills says, because Stanley just locked his arms, had no way to dispose of it legally, and the umpire pinged him.
So Stanley, Aspley holding a 4-5 lead here. They're kicking with the aid of a breeze to the left of screen, so Stanley's kick is going to make the distance. And it's a little wide, one behind results. So 9 goals 11 to 5 goals 5 in favour of the Hornets here at Fankhauser Reserve. Got about 22 minutes played to the third term here, Kanga.
Headland goes short. It's been the order of the day for Southport coming out of defence. Finds Wells. Has Stewart out the other side. Still in his defensive 50 though. Forced to go. Kick to a one-on-one. Big William Walbers was there. Headland's there also. Now the turnover comes from Payne to Turner. Tries to find Lucy. Wells came in hard and collected Lucy. Cornish gets it off to Shreve. Has Burton. A little bit of space to move. Provided Shepherd there was Hill. Gives it over the top to Goldsmith. Back to Burge. Off to the run of Haslam. Back to Burge. The cross now finds Grayson, who's up from half back. Goes over the top, has Clark there. Thompson Oh, I thought he affected a free kick, but he affected a spoil, and Thompson will take it away and find Stanley just backward to centre out of side.
And the Southport opponent's still on the ground in back play as Stewart takes the mark defensively for the Sharks. He wants to get a move on. Tyler Cornish now receives the handball. Burton in the middle will take the ball in front of Smith. He's got Shreve streaming down the outer wing. Play on, says the umpire. Lucy tackles him. It's scrubbed forward again by the Sharks. They've got it covered here, the Hornets, and they could be away. Nellis, the front position, couldn't take the mark. Stewart again does some great defensive work, gets it over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in. That's been a really interesting matchup for mine and Darren Stewart versus
Stewart's
Nellis.
taking the points.
I actually agree with you, Liam.
Stewart, he's had the 15 disposals, 11 marks, a number of them intercept marks. He's been terrific for them today.
Good contest between those two, as the umpire will throw it in on the outer side. It'll get towards right half forward for Aspley, who are now battling with a, well, enjoying a large breeze going towards the left of screen. Henry Joyce gets tackled by Shreve, just lays it on the carpet. Umpire says that is a free kick. Called the advantage, but now will allow Shreve to go back and take the kick.
So Shreve goes short, surprise, surprise, but misses a target, and this is costly for Southport. Missing those short targets, particularly coming out of defence, and the ball's out of bounds. Out of side, still at half forward for Aspley. Closing stages, third quarter. Vital minutes. Aspley can really make a mark here. He's Pettit. He's off to Holman, off to Wagner. Goes inside forward 50. Nellis can't get it in the jukes. Hill mops it up. Not really sure where to go. Puts Headland under enormous pressure. Tickner pursues. Back to Mills. Shrugs one. Gives it to Headland. Kicks it. Almost for us here in the commentary position. Doesn't find Burton. The turnover comes, and it's Hughes. Goes inside forward 50. Over the top. Off to the races they go. And the ball just squeezes in for behind. And sloppy stuff from Southport as Aspley just get another behind, and Southport will try again through Haslam here.
Haslam outer side, Fraser Pope the target, big fly over the top. Great grab there taken by Hutchinson. Well read, it just sat beautifully for him. He goes to right half forward. In fact, inside 50, Southport defence asked again to perform the task. Grayson mops it up, but he puts it out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will be taken the outer side by young Josh Wagner.
Well, that was his 31st disposal of the day, and probably his worst as well. He's been very good for them, really reliable by foot, but just not on that occasion, unfortunately.
So Wagner being told to go over the mark by the umpire, who held it up. Gets onto the left foot, puts it to the hot spot. Actually leading the ball was Darren Stewart. Could have marked it himself, went to the spoil. Gavin Gross leads in the charge, taps it backwards, outside 50. Picked up by Pettit. Handball back to Matthews. Long inside 50. Southport have got this covered again. Stewart again.
Another intercept mark as well.
Takes the mark. He's doing a bang-up job in defence for the Sharks.
He's wide to Thine, can't quite grasp it. Just able to break the tackle. Finds a bit of space. He'll look for his trusty left. Now, praise for rain. The ball's held up unbelievably, just stopped in mid-air almost. Here Day mops it up, goes backwards to Copeland, back to Corey Wagner. Of course, kick to goal on debut just shortly. It's three-quarter time, siren sounds. And it is a 29-point margin to the Hornets. They have just extended the margin. Oh, sorry, I should say my abacus isn't working very well up here. It's 31 points, the margin. So they've extended at each break so far. It was 25 points at quarter time, 26 at half time, and now 31 points. Southport are still in this game, given that they can kick with a very strong breeze in this last quarter.
It's interesting you say that, Kanga, because Aspley have actually had the 19 more inside 50s, but they only lead by the 31 points. So.
And the fact that Southport have only kicked 5 goals for 3 quarters, they want to try and score more than that in the final term. Good luck to them. Let's hope they can, and it should be a ripping final term.
So Neefel TV will be back after the break here at Fankhauser Reserve, set up for a fantastic finish here in this game of Neefel TV between Southport and the Aspley Hornets.
Oh, it's all for us. Oh, we've done well.
Gee whiz.
31 points, the margin at the final change on Neefle TV. Game of the day, Sunday afternoon football on the Gold Coast. Beautiful winter's day. 31 points to the Aspley Hornets. Southport kicking with the breeze, so a chance to really make their mark. Mark Kennedy here with Michael Price and Liam Dettering. And boys, this could be a fantastic quarter if Southport can get away to a flyer.
Certainly, Kanga, and with the breeze, anything can happen. So let's sit back, and all the viewers at home sit back and get ready to enjoy a cracking last quarter of football.
And a magnificent effort by the Southport Football Club to deliver us a platter at three-quarter time of food too. So thank you to the club for their fantastic work. This is the voice of Michael Price.
As Southport start the final term with Walbers getting the ruck contest down to Tyne. Tyne tackled by Payne, stuck underneath him. Umpire will ball it up just about 10 metres forward of the centre circle towards Aspley's goal. They are kicking to the right of screen. Southport, aided by this blustery breeze, kicking to the left of screen this final term. It's a vital factor. Taken without the ball there. Umpire has called it. Austin Lucy will accept the free kick for Aspley. Had a good game as Austin Lucy. His 3 goals. He had 19 disposals up to
22
time.
now.
22 now.
Well, 23 with that kick.
We'll call it 23 as Nellis takes the ball at half forward for the Hornets. He's looking inboard. He doesn't just want to go straight down the line. Southport with the numbers back. He goes to the hot spot. Still outnumbered there was Adam Hughes, of course, and taking the mark was Headland for Southport. That's exactly where he didn't want to kick it in the first place, and he made sure he did in the second effort.
So it goes towards Shreve. Sainsbury applied the pressure, brought the ball to ground. It's underneath Shreve, so trouble there. Somehow he extracts it and comes up with it as well, and can run away just nonchalantly, take a couple of bounces, and then just absolutely butcher the ball straight to Hutchinson, who does almost the same, but he's around there, tackled up, manfully gang tackled now. Wells is in there, and right in front of the Neefle commentary position, we will have the conveyance thrown up into the atmosphere, Michael.
Throw up now. Walbers gets the tap down. It's taken there by Wade Mills. He gets rid of the ball. We don't know how yet, but he also gets rid of Matthew Payne. The free kick paid, and the umpire says advantage. No, he's going to pull it back. Clinton French not quite prepared to take that advantage, methinks.
I'm just surprised it took so long for one of the umpires to blow their whistle. Payne never had the ball at any stage, and Mills just decided he was the target on that occasion.
Just ragdolled him as Payne goes long down the line to right half forward for the Hornets. Now, either Hill or Stewart could have marked that for Southport. They spoiled each other. Nobody from Aspley flew or went over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in about 70 metres from the Aspley goal. Now that wind has picked up, Kanga. It is blowing very strong towards the left of screen. Southport should be able to enjoy that. Throw in.
See if they can use it at their backs. There's Geary. Just now Turner just works hard underneath it. His opposite number in Mills is dispossessed. Here's Smith and Payne. The ladder gets it out to Matthews. He ducked his head, but he had no need. Fires it, kick to handball to French. French just says, "I'll kick that up in the air." And Smith, you just catch it because I absolutely shanked it. So Smith, he shanks it by himself as well. So Thine will have it. Stephen Thine will go just outside his defensive 50 to Grayson, to Mills. Over the top, looking for Shreve and Goldsmith. Hutchison there, put a fist in a second time, and it beats Burton over the line, right in front of the interchange gates, and we will have a throw in.
That was fantastic defensive work from Hutchinson. 2 efforts there to get the ball over the line, killed the contest completely, which is exactly what you've got to do as a defender.
Boundary throw in front of the interchange gates. Jed Turner works his way to the front against Walbers. Umpire's pulled out a free kick here. It'll go against Turner for throwing his elbows back in the contest. Haven't seen that before in the ruck, but first time for everything as Walbers goes across half back. Dangerous kick, clearing Nellis, who actually knocks the ball out of the hands of his opponent in Darren Stewart, who I think has been his better today. Takes the mark, and he's got a man outside, the outer side over the head of Tyne. It bounces kindly for him though. He accepts it now, slows down, steadies, uses the left foot. He's got Goldsmith. Oh, great defensive work from Hutchinson again, as the Sharks should be able to keep the ball inside their 50, and Geary accepts a nice chest mark there. That was good work from Hutchinson, just didn't pay off there from Aspley. Southport had the crummers there.
Fantastic kick from Wells though when it came to him, just the vision to isolate the forward target, got it off to Geary. really a simple kick for goal, only 30 metres out right in front.
So Callan Geary, only the one goal last week in Southport's demolition of the Gold Coast Suns. He comes in 35 metres out directly in front, and that'll get the Sharks going here in the final term. Their 6th goal, so they cut the margin back down to 25 points. It's manageable when you've got a 3 or 4 goal breeze. This is game on right here, Kanga.
Certainly, and another thing working in their favour is... sorry, Kanga, for jumping in there, but certainly another thing in their favour is Aspley held a 41-point lead last week against the Hills Eagles going into the last quarter, and were nearly run over the top of. They only held on to win by 13 points. So Southport, with the breeze and also the knowledge that Aspley faded quite badly last week, should have a lot of confidence for the rest of this quarter.
And since the first quarter, the Aspley forward line hasn't looked that potent, so they're going to have to kick another goal quite possibly if they're going to hold on here, and they will need a target up there as we see the ball back in the middle. Here, working through there was Pope. Walber's got it in heavy traffic. Says that don't argue with Grayson, gives it off to Shreve. Now he goes to half forward. Copeland's underneath it. Cornish applies the pressure just enough. Now they win the contest. Go back here to Weller. Kick the goal in the second quarter up towards Burton. Good spoil there by Tickner. Now Southport, they win it again. Well, can they? No, it'll be French who takes it away from half back, but he will only give it as far as Headland for Southport.
Good set up from Southport. They won't let that ball out. Headland into the middle of the ground. Now he wants to move it. It's with Weller. Gets it across to Grayson. Grayson looking for Pope. Good spoiling effort there by Jack Stanley, but Pope does well. Butters up, turns around, gets it to Wade Mills at half forward. He wanted to play on and give it to Headland. He will play on now and give it back to Weller from 70 metres. Weller to the Burton lead. Hits him on the chest, 20 metres out. Slight angle. Yes, boys, this game is on.
And that's exactly why Weller's Queensland's #1 draft pick this year. That was a terrific kick, just hit up the lead beautifully. Great skills on display there from Southport again. Their foot skills certainly lifted in this last quarter.
So they've got the 1 goal so far, Southport, looking for their 2nd for the term. This will drag them right back in it. It's 25 points at the minute. Take it back to a 19-point ball game. A lot easier to manage with about 20 minutes left of this final term. So Burton, Nick Burton, unloads. Goal umpire likes it. His teammates like it as well. They get around him as well. So Southport, the tails are up a little bit now. They are only 19 points away from the Aspley Hornets here in the final term.
Full of run to finish this last quarter. Southport have been terrific. And when you look through their disposal winners, 4 of their top 5 from the back half. We've seen Grayson with his 34 disposals, Tyne now with 31. Headland with 24 and Mills with 19. It's been a terrific effort from their back half. Lots of run being generated.
Now, Kanga, you mentioned earlier about Aspley's forward line looking as potent. 5 goals in the first term for the Hornets, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, yet to score in the final term.
And quite interestingly, just from the other 2 meetings, Hughes and Nellis, their 2 real big key forwards, have only kicked 3 goals in total in their meetings so far. That ball was nearly shuffled out from mine with a throw. Umpire didn't quite see it that way, and Haslam was wrapped up by Copeland in just a nice tackle. Actually, it was Holman who was the tackler, and we will have it up again. So Pettit and Walbers, you'd give that one to Walbers. Joyce is over the top there. That's Haslam.
It's a little
hippie headband.
A little bit of feeling.
Go with those.
And we've seen Southport really open up the game as well. They're dominating the uncontested possessions, 225 to 162, and they've also almost doubled the marks of Aspley, 99 to 57, with 92 of those uncontested. So they're starting to really work the ball on the outside.
As we see Haslam, he'll go off for a blood rule again. Again, their bench is a little bit bereft. The absence of Callanan with the ribs, had a rib injury, and Merritt went off in the first quarter with an ankle injury. As we see Burge come to take Haslam's place. Pettit just worked his opponent under the ball there. Here's Geary, he works hard at it. There's Burge, probably almost borderline push in the back. Umpire says no, he'll have it, and we'll have another ball up. And a little bit of intensity and feeling in this game now with the scores tightening up sufficiently, Michael.
19 points the margin. This is a very tight finish coming up for you. Hill inside 50 for Southport, bounces over the heads of Goldsmith and Hutchinson towards the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in. That's a good result for the Sharks. They will have the throw in about 10 metres from their left point post.
And King, you mentioned for Southport one player had to lift was Pope, and he's up to 16. But Aspley, Austin Lucy had 18 touches to half-time and 3 goals. He's only had 5 since then. He's one who's certainly gone out of the game.
Goldsmith tries to tap it down. Payne injects himself. The handball to Lucy. Lucy scrubs it around the corner. It's controlled by Wagner, who just ran it over the boundary line, basically, to evade. Nicely disguised, and there'll be a throw in just where the 50-metre arc intersects.
Good composure from the young man.
And in his NEFL debut as well, the under-18 player doing absolutely brilliantly today, and with his first goal in NEFL footy as well. The throw in, it's well contested there. Tyne gets it onto the left shoe, inside the forward 50, and a juggling effort from Ryan Thompson, not paid. Good pressure there from Wells, and it'll be another throw in the left forward pocket for the Southport Sharks. They're pressing hard.
10 minutes gone, final quarter here. Great contest on NEFL TV. Ball comes down. Pettit just wills it forward by hand. There's Lucy, just gets a quick one away. Southport had the numbers. Walbers just trying to put on a block there for the teammate in Stewart. Aspley find a way to lock it up. They had the 2-on-1 Southport, but good work there by Nellis just to force the restart. And the ball will go up again. Walbers looked like he manhandled. Payne couldn't quite take it with him. Tried to get another clearance, a prolific ball winner. And we're going to see what these Aspley runners can do, whether we've got some tired legs out there, just to see it, how it unfolds.
Be hard work running uphill or against the wind in the final term. We'll see how they go. Again, the ball is stuck under several, and the umpire will ball it up right in front of the commentary's position here on the Southport Sharks clubhouse side of the ground. They're trailing by 19 points Southport, and they're kicking to the left of screen with the aid of the breeze. Again, Henry Joyce puts himself in, along with the captain in Jason Birch.
I think we're in third man up territory here. We've had about 4 stoppages in a row. Just need someone to get the ball forward here for
Third
Southport.
man up or random free kick time.
I think Hill is going now. Watch him off the ball.
I think you're right here. Well done to you, Liam. Perfect call as Hill jumps up, third man up. Gets it down to Payne, though. He kicks it to right half forward for Aspley again. Stewart dominating Nellis. Stewart down the line, wobbles it to Shreve, who takes it in front of Austin Lucy. Umpire calls play on. He kicks it inside, towards the corridor. Beautifully tapped down now. Wells is going to get the handball to Geary, to Mills. Mills, the short pass doesn't quite hit Goldsmith. He picks it up on the bounce, though, gets the handball across. But again, Hutchinson for Aspley. Oh, they could be away here through Jack Stanley.
And so Stanley has one over the top as well. It's Smith. Smith can run inside forward 50 now. It's only a matter of, can he kick accurately? No, he can't. And it's a 1 point. So they had the chance to really almost ice the game.
Just didn't steady himself there, did he, Kangaroo? He was still running at full tilt when he kicked it.
So, error there by Burge. Probably dropped what he should have taken. Aspley have it around the corner. It's Lucy. Once again, that's number 4. And sloppy play again from Southport, resulting in an Aspley goal there. And at a crucial time in this match, just when they were fighting back.
Well, he just kicked that off the inside of the foot and got that curl back nicely. It was a brilliant little kick there from Lucy to kick his 4th of the day. Mentioned him a couple of minutes ago as someone who hasn't had much of the footy in the second half, but certainly in the last couple of minutes I think he's had about 5 disposals. And just there, the all-important 4th goal, and Aspley's, what is that today for Aspley? I'm losing track.
26 points the margin.
10th goal of the
10th
day.
goal, 10-13-73, plays 7-5-47.
What we saw down there before was Wade Mills missed a short kick to Goldsmith, and that created the turnover, and it went down the other end, resulting in that goal. So poor skills once again, both from the kick out and also in general play.
That ball up was basically held in between Turner and opposition player in Fraser Pope. So we'll do it all again. Turner now bats it down, picked up there by Ryan Holman. Gets it towards Sainsbury. Now Hill's going to put himself in for the Southport Sharks. He does so. Overruns the ball though. Manages to pick it up. Shoots a handball out to Grayson. Grayson to Tyne. Now they're going to run it out, Southport. They're running out of time. Bounces towards Jack Stanley for Aspley. Just a speculating handball towards Pope and Matthews. Oh, great work there by Reece Toy. No, he actually dived at the legs, and that's the new rule. So
yeah, the sliding rule.
The Southport player will take the free kick there. Still love us to see a player throw himself at the ball, but you've got to do it with some
on your feet.
discretion.
You've got to do it on your feet, I think.
Exactly. The ball is out of bounds, the outer side. Aspley will take the free kick.
So it's Holman, just goes short over the top. Can't quite find Hughes on the full. Great smother there by Wells. Hughes gets it back to Holman. Holman can go inside forward 50 now. Big Walbers and Turner was there. Turner had the run of it, been slapped on. Sainsbury in the way now. Looks to give it, then shimmies, then doesn't know what actually he's even doing. And he can try and mop up. He's taken out of the play. No free kick there. And winning a free kick will be the Southport Sharks, fortuitously under the circumstances, in Shreve. And Shreve can go wide and find Pope, who now has some room.
He's got some room. He's being chased manfully by Nellis, who did well. He gets the ball onto Wells, though. Right on centre wing in front of the Doug Hannell Memorial scoreboard, showing the Aspley Hornets up by 26 points. Southport moving it forward, though. Fraser Pope wants to get a wriggle on now. Time is of the essence. He chips it forward to the lead of Geary, but that was well cut off there. It was a poor kick in the end, ill-directed. And Aspley will take the free kick there. Who put himself in there very nicely? Did
It's Holman, yeah. Just had to move the ball quicker there, Southport.
Wants to switch it, and it's now with Joey Day in front of the goal square. You've got the lead of Josh Wagner coming down the outer side. He wants to kick it towards us here in the commentary box. Tickner versus Haslam. And I'll give that. That's a great diving mark under heaps of pressure from Tickner. He'll take it at right half back.
So Haslam mans the mark nicely, makes life a bit hard for Kane Tickner. The Noosa boy goes right in front of us here in the commentary position in the clubhouse there. Hill goes up high, just gets the fist on it, knocks it out of bounds, and we'll have a great Neefle TV view of this contest right in front of us here. So the margin, 26 points. Southport are going to have to get a wriggle on here. Walbers, no real winner there, but Payne comes away, just belts it forward. Great mark there by Headland. Under great pressure there by Nellis. That was certainly very good. So the two 10s, a bit of tar-to-tar as we go inside forward 50. And there's Tickner again, just using his superior height over Haslam to take a good defensive mark.
Adam Hughes from Aspley showing some absolutely superlative sledging skills on Hill there from Southport.
Well, last time we watched them, they had a bit to say to each other, and obviously they've continued on today.
So Matthews over the top to Wagner, Corey Wagner, inside to Thompson, and Thompson backward to centre, can kick it short, looking for Josh Wagner. He can give it quickly over to Corey Wagner. Goes inside forward 50 to Sainsbury. Now he's got the run of it because he couldn't take the mark. Off the stick goes a player, and I can't quite pick it up. Might be French, is it? I think it is. As we see, French kick a goal, and Cornish is not happy, and he knocked Holman over. And just a little bit careless, but I think the fat lady has got up to sing, Michael.
She's certainly gargling and act the lectern as we speak, Kanga, but Southport, how much time have they got? It's 17.5 minutes gone here of the final
term. Still enough time, but they just haven't looked likely at any stage today.
You've only kicked 7 goals for the entire game. You've got to knock about 4 over in the next 12 minutes or so, but let's see what they can do. They've still got that fluky breeze. Aspley, though, with the tails up. They've kicked a couple of vital goals here in the last couple of minutes. The first one from Lucy. Now, Walbers versus Pettit. Scrubbed out by Tyler Cornish. Jack Stanley picks it up for Aspley. Leans back. Kicks it towards half forward. Good spoiling effort there, but again, the Aspley Hornets winning first to the ball. Headland now intercepts, belted as he kicks it forward. It's now with Holman. Holman, the handball back inboard. The chip there to Hughes, who's lost his opponent in Hill or his sledging partner. Looks for Sainsbury. It bounces to him. French dummies around Hill. Raises the arm as he runs into the goal square for a bit of eye play. And Aspley have put this game to bed, methinks. Their 12th goal. 12-13-85. Play 7-5-47 with about 18 minutes gone to the final term.
It's been far more efficient going inside 50, Aspley. Certainly starting to take control of this match in this last quarter, and as you said, Kenga, just before, Fat Lady definitely starting to warm up the vocal cords. Reed, 28 disposals, 12 clearances, 7 inside 50s, and a goal. So he's had a sensational day out, Matthew Payne.
Well, Southport started this final term with 2 quick goals. Aspley have answered with another 3 to basically put the game to bed. Ball in contested in the centre circle. It's going to end up now with Austin Lucy. He goes to the outer wing. Again, they've got runners everywhere, have Aspley. It's with Hughes. Goes out to Tickner now. Just sharing the ball around. Seems that the Sharks are a little deflated after that last goal. Tickner long to left half forward. Turner coming at the back of the pack. Payne couldn't spoil Darren Stewart, who's been a big winner for Southport on the day as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's his 14th mark today. He's been sensational across that half.
Oh, getting up high there was Wells. Couldn't quite take the mark. Now Cornish gets it off to Shreve, I think it is. Goes down the line, looking for Salter. Just a good kick there. And gets it in front of Wagner. And not sure what to do. He needs to go back off the mark if he's going to do too much at all. Had players there initially, but just couldn't quite find the right viewpoint, I suppose, to get a little bit of room to chip it short if he was going to.
I think there'd be a bit more urgency here, but he's just taking his time. He better go back and kick it.
So Salter comes in. He'll have to kick all of 50. Puts it on its way. And it's across the face. So, lost opportunity. And just the behind results. Hutchison will bring it back in. And goes short. Has Thompson in the back pocket. And they will just play for time here, I think. They will just chip it around as French has the ball. He's got it on the chip. He's got Hutchison back in the goal square. And he motions the ball, motions his players to come to the commentary side, the clubhouse side here at Fankhauser Reserve. And Darren Hill, it is, who, I was going to say Darren, but it's Luke Hill, who belts it out of bounds and will have a throw in. Not far from the needful commentary position here, Michael Price.
In the shadows of the beautiful Southport Sharks clubhouse here on the wing, as Turner taps it down. Matthews puts himself in. Oh, just beautifully shovels it out to Lucy. Lucy looking for his man in Payne. He and Grayson, 2 cracking players for mine. You've got Henry Joyce tackled by Grayson. Slung, in fact, without the ball. He just got rid of it. Grayson lingered with the tackle. So Henry Joyce will take the free kick right in front of the interchange gates. He's got some movement. Also a little bit of cramp by the looks of things. Leans back, the right foot down the line. That's Nellis who flies and just basically punches it over the boundary line for a stoppage here. We'll get a throw in. Around about 90 metres from the Aspley goal. 37.6 goals won, Kanga.
The ball comes in. Turner and Walbers. Walbers had to do a lot of work today. Payne to Thompson to Stanley. Goes inside forward 50. The punch came from French in the path of Hughes. Hughes just goes off the ground. It's a foot race. Nellis knocks his opponent over, but Stewart still manages to knock it out of bounds. And good defensive work there. He's, as we mentioned, he's been very good, Darren Stewart, back there today.
Yes. Southport defence has actually done a really good job. I think Keller's been pretty good on Eddie Sainsbury as well, but just the midfield spread's what's got Aspley over the line. So
the ball back in. Coming through very well there was Pope. As we said, lifted after half-time, gets a kick away, but it goes out of bounds. The fleet-footed Aspley Mosquitoes have really taken it to the Sharks this afternoon here in this round 15 clash, which will result in an Aspley win and keep their streak alive.
Throw in now. It's accepted there by Austin Lucy, picked up by Fraser Pope though, picked his pocket, scrubs it forward to Ben Wells. He's hassled by Gross. Now Payne puts himself back in. Thompson hooks it forward. It bounces over the head of Hill. Does he control it? Yes, he does. Nice handball back to Stewart. Stewart's got Shreve on the outer side. Geary as well further on. Shreve finds Geary. It bounces in front of him. Can he collect this before being hassled by Wagner? He does, but Wagner does beautifully. Puts the pressure on. That missed kick again costing Southport so much as Aspley bring it down the corridor. Austin Lucy turns. Handball now. Jack Stanley back to Toy. Toy to Lucy. They're just racking up the stats between themselves now. A bit of waxing as it goes out to Dan Smith on the outer side. Slowing it down.
And he says, well, let's just take a breather here for a minute, boys. Goes short. Finds Wagner. That's Corey. Applied some good pressure across the game today. And, of course, kicked a goal in his debut today. He goes up to half forward. Over the back there was Grayson. It was touched off hands. That's why he kept going. Thine back to Grayson. He's had plenty of it, and so's Thine as well. Now they can come across to centre half back. Here's Pope. Juggles it, but now takes control, and he's away. Goes short to Mills. Mills gives it off to Burge. He's going to get run down if he's not in a hurry. And play on. It was a high tackle anyway. Goes up forward. Hutchison. That was unrealistic, but Aspley somehow managed to come away with it. So it's Copeland to Thompson, and Payne should mark this one.
Oh, he does. He juggles it. Does Matthew Payne.
Drop back.
And slowing it down now, Aspley. They know they've got this one in the bag at Fankhauser Reserve. This big local derby, Southport versus Aspley here in Nearful TV, round 15. It's taken there by Toy. Gets in the middle. Turner to the run of Gavin Gross. Players galore on the outer side. He's had a left foot mongrel that bounces in front of Dan Smith. He controls it beautifully to Corey Wagner at half forward. Running up to 50. They wave him in, say, have another go, son. He does from 45. Yo beauty! His second goal. Great play there by the Hornets. I say you beauty because the young man got his second goal in Nearful footy on his debut. A beautiful finish and some class there, Liam.
It's been very good, Corey Wagner. 14 disposals on his debut, as you mentioned, 2 goals. A sign of things to come for the future. Obviously, one to watch with his involvement in the Queensland side. We've just got some score updates from the other games today. Half-time score between Sydney Uni and Hills Eagles. A 31-point lead there to the University, and a full-time score from Sydney. UWS Giants 112 to 57 over the Gold Coast Suns.
An improvement from the Gold Coast Suns after last week.
Well, it was actually level at half-time, but just UWS kicked away in the second half.
So they come away again, Aspley. That time it was Matthews, finds Smith, up towards Sainsbury. Keller's warning closely today. Here's Sainsbury though, he gets a little bit of room. He's got to go back to Lucy. Gets the go-go gadget arms up, and he can go wide. Has Wagner. Wagner goes short. Finds a target in Tickner, I think that is, up forward. So Kane Tickner, been more accustomed to seeing him down back. And this last quarter, this last little stanza, been pushed forward, and he'll have a chance to add to the scoreboard and Southport's misery.
Well, I think we've seen what John Blair's been afforded the chance to do today. He's been able to throw a few players around in this last quarter just in case they need to do that later in the season. So it's a good opportunity for some of their players to try out a new position.
So taking his time over this one is Tickner, chewing it up. The result's a foregone conclusion, not the kick, but the win is, and that kick falls up short to the top of the square, and that is full time here at Nearful TV. Round 15 clash between Southport and Aspley going the Hornets' way. It ended up being a comprehensive victory by 43 points. Southport closed to 19 points in the last quarter, but it was Aspley against the breeze, kicking away and recording another decisive victory.
Well, they were sensational today. That's their 9th win on the trot heading into next week's bye before the huge match at home where they host Redland. They're in great shape, Aspley. They'd have to be one of the premiership fancies along with Sydney and UWS now. They're obviously the form team, certainly coming out of the northern half of the draw. And a number of their top players in really good form. Matt Payne, 31 disposals. 13 clearances today. Austin Lucy, 31 disposals, 4 goals. He was terrific. Matthews, again, as he does so often, found the ball in close. Clinton French was also quite good for us. We kicked a couple of goals there in that last quarter when they were needed. But for Southport, it's not all doom and gloom. They've got a number of players to come back in who are out injured at the moment, who we will see later in the year. Grayson had 37 disposals for them today. Tyne 36 and Headland 26. So a few good players there, but obviously Aspley just through the midfield, greatest spreader contributors can go.
So over the course of the 3 games that these two sides have played this year, Matty Payne, 87 possessions, if you don't mind. 13 clearances I just saw today, which is phenomenal, and 7 inside 50s. For mine, he and Lucy were the 2 best men on the ground. They were both very well supported by a cast of John Blair's little stars and the Mosquito fleet out there. They are making life hard for every side that they come up against. And Michael, Southport have a little bit of cell searching to do, of course. Plenty of injuries out there, but they'll need to reload next week against Redlands, which is here again, for what will be almost an 8-point game and probably their last chance to really make an impression on the 8.
Absolutely.
On the 6.
And you would hope that they would go back and think about how they're using the football, especially on their home deck here. So many times throughout this game, they had their chances, the actual ball moving nice and clinically until it got to the last kick, and then they overcooked it. They missed too many disposals, turned it over. That's where Aspley flogged them all day.
So on NEFL TV, round 15, we'll wind up proceedings. Mark Kennedy and Michael Price, along with Liam Dettering, signing off from Fankhauser Reserve. It was a 43-point margin to the Aspley Hornets, and we will see you next week for Southport and Redlands right here on NEFL TV.